Hi, I'm Rockwell, also known as Steven Speaks. I'm about to answer 50 simple questions with Simpol.ph. Come with us.
Hi Rockwell, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
So you've been to the Philippines many times. What keeps bringing you back here?
I love the culture, I love the food.
Alright, so what's the first thing you did when you landed here?
First thing I did when I landed here was go to the hotel, so I get to see the city, and then of course, wait in Manila traffic.
Sir, by the way, you recently performed at Newport. How was the experience?
It was excellent, man. The people here always treat me well, receive my music with grace and love.
What's the funniest thing that's happened to you at a concert?
I ran into some people last time I was here, went just across to a show, met this girl who was singing. Long story short, I ran into this guy who's a band. It ends up being her husband, and he ends up playing on the tour with me. So it's funny how small the music industry can be, and it's just funny how I meet people and become friends with them over time.
Have you ever forgotten the lyrics to your own song?
I forget the lyrics to my songs often.
Do you ever get nervous before performing?
I get nervous every time I perform.
What's your favorite thing about your Filipino fans?
In general, very, very kind, loving people.
And what's the best gift a fan has ever given you?
I've been looking for years for a cassette tape from back in 2002. When they released my album, it was released on cassette, and I never had a cassette tape. And a fan brought me an unwrapped cassette tape and gave it to me at one of my shows, and it nearly made me tear up because I wanted one for so long. Very, very cool.
Are you an avid reader, by the way?
I am.
We have plenty of books out there.
I see, you've got lots of books.
How did Stephen Speaks get its name?
Steven Speaks, actually, we had been looking for a band name, and we saw it on a billboard. Tonight, Steven speaks about something, and we liked the idea. Stephen was a saint in the Bible who spoke up regardless of what they did to him. They threatened to kill him, and he still said what he wanted to say anyways. Just like the idea of being who you are no matter what's done to you, any kind of persecution you go through, you got to be true to who you are. So that's where Steven Speaks comes from.
One of your most famous songs here is Passenger Seat. Can you tell us what's the story behind it?
It's a real simple story. It's about driving on a date to go get something to drink with a girl and falling in love.
Your other most popular song is Out of My League.
Yes.
Did you ever expect it to be such a big hit?
No, there were elements, I mean, even back when the song was written, that it was something special, for sure.
You've made so much more songs other than these two.
Yeah.
Which of your songs means the most to you?
I have a song I recently released called Alive to Fight, and I wrote it when I was going through one of the hardest times in my life. And I woke up just so depressed, I felt like I'd lost everything that mattered to me, but all I had was my life. And I knew that I was alive to fight for a better day and a better future.
Is there any random place that you've heard one of your songs being played at?
Yeah, I think the first time I was in the Philippines in 2003, I heard Passenger Seat being played at McDonald's. Little known fact, I was a chef for 3 years. So I'm a very good cook and I love food. Aside from music, food is one of my passions.
But you said you were a chef for 3 years.
Yes.
What was your go-to comfort food when you were a chef?
My go-to comfort food is probably either pan-seared scallops or a good ribeye steak. My
And-
two favorites.
Is that still something that you consider your go-to comfort food now?
Yes, absolutely. If I have the money and I have the time, I'm gonna grill me a good ribeye steak.
What are you thinking of getting?
I'm definitely gonna have some kare, and crispy pata is probably gonna be my go-to.
Let's get that for you.
All right.
When you're not working on your music, do you still cook?
I cook every single day. I have a full chef line in my backyard at my house. So I have a grill, a deep fryer, like a restaurant style 2-basket deep fryer. I have a flat top, and I have 2 smokers.
What would you say is the best kind of people to cook for?
All people, but especially people who like to try new things and are adventurous eaters.
Are you a coffee or tea guy?
I love both, but I would have to go coffee.
All right, perfect, because we have coffee here for you.
Yes, I love all coffees.
All right.
Ooh.
I'd like to talk about your songwriting process. That seems like something that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah,
So what's
songwriting
your
process.
songwriting process like?
I have different facets as far as sometimes I start with lyrics, sometimes I'll start with the music, sometimes I'll just sit down and do both at the same time and goof around until I find something I like. But there's not like a set. I always start with the lyrics, or always start with the guitar. I go many different ways, and I think that helps me kind of branch out and get different ideas. So I intentionally change up the process.
Where do you find your inspiration for your lyrics?
I find my inspiration for lyrics on everyday life. Sometimes I'll just see words that trigger a song.
If you can collaborate with any artist, who would it be?
Collaborate with any artist, Eminem.
Do you also rap?
I do rap a little bit. In fact, at my show, you'll see me do a mashup. I'll throw in some Kanye. I'll rap some Ludacris. You'd be surprised.
Do you mind if you show a bit of your rap skills here?
My rap skills? You gotta have a beat to rap to. Watch out when our ridiculous in the club looking so conspicuous. Wow, and these women all on the prowl. If you hold the head steady, I'ma milk the cow.
Do you have any pre-show related rituals?
So really, pre-show ritual is just like be alone and kind of relax, the calm before the storm.
Do you have a dream concert venue?
I've always wanted to play in Mall of Asia.
Passenger Seat is your most famous song here in the Philippines.
Yes, Passenger Seat.
Do you mind serenading our Filipino fans?
When I've got all that I need right here in the passenger seat. Oh, and I can keep my eyes on the road, knowing that she's inches from me.
I'm curious, what's the best advice that you've ever received?
Take your time and do it right. If you've got a song, if you've got a relationship, if you've got a job, whatever you're doing, take your time and do it right. Otherwise, you'll be doing it again.
So aside from music, aside from the kitchen, do you also love watching movies?
I do love watching movies. I would say video games, music, and movies, my top 3 entertainment.
What was the best indie horror film that you've watched?
There's a movie called Decoys. It's about alien women that kill men. And at the very end of it, there's a surprise ending, but there's a Steven Speaks song as the happy part, and they're walking off together before the surprise ending.
Do you have a favorite way of spending a lazy day?
Yeah, I love just sitting around in my sweatpants all day long, video games, cooking, barbecue some meat, and watch a movie at the end of the day.
Earlier, you mentioned that you love video games.
I love video games.
What are you playing right now?
I just finished a game called Avowed, which was fairly new, and then I started the brand new Monster Hunter that came out, and I love Monster Hunter. That's fun.
Aside from staying in, you're also known to go out because of your job. What's your favorite city that you've ever visited?
I would say Manila and Stockholm, Sweden are tied for my favorite cities.
And what is your dream vacation spot?
I want to go scuba diving in Palawan.
And what is the best part of being a musician?
Best part about being a musician is hearing about the people's lives that I've impacted.
And what would you say is the hardest part?
It's hard sometimes when people can be pretty brutal towards celebrities.
How do you keep your music fresh?
I try to keep my stuff classic and timeless, to where it'll stand the test of time, and it's not just a fad that music is going through, but keep the core classic instruments and pieces so it will stand the test of time.
What's a song that you wish you had written?
So yeah, I wish I would have written Hey There, Delilah.
Who are your biggest musical influences?
Dave Matthews Band is a big one. I grew up playing his guitar parts. They're really different and cool. Counting Crows. I would also say Eric Clapton's acoustic stuff was a big influence in my writing.
Are you hungry?
Yes, I'm always hungry.
We have the food here.
All right. Oh, look at that. I love crispy pata. Oh man, I love beef kare kare.
You said a while ago that you were a chef as well, right?
Yes.
What do you think is the similarities between music and the kitchen life?
To me, music and food go together, just different senses.
Do you think music and food both tell stories?
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them tell stories of history and passion.
How does presentation matter in both music and food?
Presentation is everything, especially even in music as well. The production of the music, the way it's presented, the way people dress. I think it's just all a part of the show. It's a part of the thing, and you can't separate the two. They're intertwined.
What's next for Stephen Speaks?
Next for Steven Speaks, I got a new single coming out called Mesmerized. It's in final production stages right now. Next year, I'm come back with the whole band and probably do like a greatest hits kind of thing.
And what would you say to your fans here in the Philippines?
Thank you so much for still listening to my music. It's amazing to me that 25 years after the songs are written, there's still, even younger generations. I got fans now that weren't even born when we wrote those songs. And I just can't believe how much people, especially in the Philippines, have embraced my music and kept it alive. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us the time. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna dig in.
Simpol.ph, living made simple.